The short story I read for my independent study is called The Necklace by French author Guy de Maupassant. It tells the fascinating tale of a dissatisfied middle-class French woman whose dreams of wealth and glamour end in disaster. The main theme I saw in this short story was pride. Mathilde Loisel is a proud woman who feels far above the humble circumstances she is dealt with by birth. It is Mathilde's pride that leads her to want so desperately to be valued in superficial and shallow ways. Ultimately, it was Mathilde's pride that prevented her from confessing the loss of the necklace she was loaned. Mathilde saw no pride in her husband's job or work ethic. When the loss of the necklace results in Mathilde becoming poor, she learns to take pride in her own hard work. A visual symbol I saw many times throughout the short story is obviously an image of a necklace. The necklace loaned to Mathilde symbolizes all that she doesn't have in life and all that she madly desires. Towards the end of the short story, the necklace symbolizes something different. After Mathilde and her husband fall into debt and poverty, the necklace symbolizes the wealth that Mathilde can now never hope to have. This is an important quote from the short story. When Mathilde becomes poor, she is forced to work. Getting down to work and paying off her debt seems to make her proud in a new way. Instead of taking pride in her beauty, she begins to take pride in her work ethic and endurance. Guy de Maupassant demonstrates that the appearance of wealth is often at odds with reality. The reality of Mathilde's situation is that she is neither wealthy nor part of the social class, but Mathilde does everything in her power to make her life appear more extravagant than how it really is. This is an idea I can relate to a little bit because it's something my dad does. When any of his friends come over, he tells them that he bought our apartment for $400,000 when we were only paying rent. I'm proud of the hard work my dad does to provide for me and my family, and I only wish he took pride in it too. Another aspect of this short story I connected to was the power material possessions have over our happiness. When I was younger, I used to buy many dolls, but a few minutes later, and I was already thinking of buying a new doll. Although material possessions can bring us happiness, it's only for a limited amount of time. I think a lot of us can relate to the belief that material items have the power to change our lives. A lot of the time, we believe that being wealthy would solve most of our problems, but sometimes we forget to instead be grateful for the life that we do lead. In terms of other literature and stories that I've read, I found that the play Macbeth was a good connection, since both stories focus on the idea of false appearances and greed. William Shakespeare's play Macbeth tells the tale of a Scottish general who is told by three witches that he is going to be crowned king. Consequently, his greed and mad desire for power get the better of him, resulting in the demise of himself and those around him. Lady Macbeth is the foremost example of false appearances. On the inside, she is consumed with a lust for power, but on the outside, she maintains the masquerade of a loving and subservient wife. The deceptiveness of appearances is highlighted by Madame Forestier's necklace, which appears to be made of diamonds but is actually nothing more than costume jewelry. The fact that the necklace changes unnoticed from worthless to precious suggests that appearances can easily deceive. When I think about the short story The Necklace and how Mathilde found pride in the idea of wealth, I can't help but think of Donald Trump and the amount of pride he takes in himself and in his wealth. Similar to Mathilde, it is Donald Trump's pride that causes him to lie. He consistently denies factual information even when people tell him he is wrong. He takes tremendous pride in his wealth, but does not find any pride in the hard work of the immigrants who built much of America. It is easy to view this short story through a feminist lens. From a feminist perspective, Mathilde's behavior, self-image, and worldview are completely shaped by the expectations and attitudes of the patriarchal society she lives in. Mathilde truly believes that she is deserving of special treatment because of her physical appearance and charm, despite the fact that she isn't wealthy and hasn't accomplished much in her life, though as a woman at that time, she wouldn't be expected to have. One lesson that we can all be reminded of is to not let our pride get the better of us. We tend to find pride in the wrong things, and that pride leads us to believe that we are truly deserving of something that we haven't worked hard for. Instead, we must learn to be grateful for all that we do have in life. We can't let our pride fog reality, and continue to believe that we are deserving of more than others. It's not a new lesson by any means, but it is one that many of us tend to forget.